A word for our listeners. Season 3 of Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1940s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It's not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring Roxanne Thompson, Shirley Niedzwiecki, John Thompson, and Phil Durham, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm Matt, and I'm joined by Shirley.
Hello.
And Philinius Durhams.
It was Philistina.
No, it's Philinius. We just decided this.
I
thought it was Philbertina.
Philbertina.
I am a man
Writing
of
it
many
down.
names.
John Thompson.
Howdy.
And Roxanne Thompson.
Hello, hello.
Old Roxy T.
Oh, Roxy T. That's me.
All right, so we are in Congo. In the Congo.
Ooh, can we do a Congo line?
Yes. Let's.
That's a conga.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, wow. I realized.
Congo is where the gorillas are in the movie.
Yeah.
Or the book.
Yeah.
Or the boas.
Which, by the way, the book is way better. Like everything
sure.
Michael Crichton ever did. Except, strangely, 13th Warrior is totally different, and both are really good.
I like
That was a Michael Crichton?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
I have the book.
Yeah, the book is more like a documentary, like
Yeah.
nonfiction thing, and then they turned it into the movie, which is surprisingly entertaining and good, but not at all the book.
I see. I read Andromeda Strain when I was a teenager, and I kind of like it quite a bit. It's kind of boring, though, I guess, in retrospect.
Yeah, I mean, death and murder, that's, boring. Boring.
Well, I mean, it was space stuff.
It's no Nutri-Rat, right?
Well, the Nutri-Rat could be a space alien. We don't know yet.
Is Nutri-Rat what you get when you feed a rat Nutri-System?
Well, see, the thing is, I'm a Midwesterner, and so it has an I in it, so I want to call it a Nutri-Rat, but down there they're like, no. The I is silent. It's Nutra.
The I is silent.
If the I speaks, we cut
You
it
can't
out.
you can't make vowels silent.
I'm like, what?
That's their whole
silent
purpose
E's,
is
but
to
yeah.
be.
Do you know the English
Aren't you
like
sitting
grammar?
next to Beauchamp over there?
Well, I know. I'm just saying that's how, and that was Midwesterns and probably Northerners that said Beauchamp instead of Beauchamp.
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 Beauchamp Harrowgate. Beauchamp. Gosh, you've lost 18 listeners
That's
just
all
from
right.
this one conversation.
Look, if we're gonna lose listeners over this,
we already have your download.
yeah, thanks.
Might as well listen.
That's
That was
I want to clip of that. We already have your download. Might as well listen.
yeah. No, I'm flipping that out. Thanks, Roxy. So, you guys have a nice dinner. It is a very different from what you're used to. From what I'm seeing in the pictures, I cannot say that I've ever eaten Congolese food, but it looks similar to like Moroccan as far as the coloring. It's a lot of reds in their spice choices and yellow rice. It looks really good in this picture I'm looking at. But you have some good food, nice and hearty. And then the soldiers that sit around the table, they end up, one of the patrols comes back in. It's like 6 guys. They all sit down. Everybody sits down and kind of has a meal. They switch out the guards real quick so the guards can come down and eat. But it's very clear that the non-enlisted men are very friendly with each other, and it's a very good, not to use this term because it's terrible, it's cliche, not terrible, but it's a band of brothers. They have become very close. The officers hold themselves apart and separate, which is both proper for military, but also a clear segregation between the men.
Okay.
But you're accepted by both. So the officers are happy to talk to you. The men are happy to talk to you. It just generally goes well.
A rare moment in Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. Like, there's your one, and we're done for the rest of the season. They
Remember that one meal we had in Congo?
They set you up with some cots, kind of off to the side. It's just an area or just a few cots that they found that they kind of pulled out of storage.
Ew.
But shortly after dark, the men start getting ready for bed, and like everything kind of calms down, and not a lot of activity much after dark.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a decent clean.
Like,
Yep.
I'm sorry, you're gonna shower? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if they got a shower or they got a bath.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that up until now we haven't necessarily had great opportunities to really clean ourselves up and.
Yeah, nothing really great. So you give a good scrub just to wash the dirt off of the travel.
That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are. The night goes by pretty solidly. No, not a huge deal.
Okay, now I'm freaking out.
Why?
Like, you're not getting anybody weird dreams. You're not like
Right?
messing with us.
Why?
Like,
Jeez. Paranoia. Oh, you're being too nice.
You're doing your job.
So, the night goes just fine. You guys wake up early with the dawn. The men are up shortly before that, and they're not loud, but it's also not like a cordoned off area. Even the officers sleep in the same area, and they have an office area that is separate, but not separated by walls. It's just like off to the side. So yeah, it's shortly after dawn. The cook puts some food in front of you guys. All the other men are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I assume the two military and probably the FBI guy is used to this as well. Rebecca, you're maybe not as used to like the early morning running and moving and like getting going kind of thing, right? Did you hear anything I just said?
Yes, I'm not the kind of going type.
Okay, so Cabea comes in like once you guys are done eating, or once you're almost done eating breakfast. Cabea grabs another cup of coffee and comes and sits down and says, when you're prepared, the jeeps are gassed and ready to go, and we would be happy to head out.
Alrighty, sounds
I'm
good.
grabbing more tea.
Tea? Okay. Cabea says what we're going to do is we're going to drive to the edge of town and just beyond on one of the roads. We'll park both the jeeps there, and then continue on foot from there. We're going to take one of the men from, or no, I'm sorry. We're going to leave. It'll be just the six of us going through the jungle.
Yeah.
If for some reason I tell you to stop or I motion for you to stop, it is important that you do. As my contact said, there are a lot of wild animals in the area, and it's better and easier to respect them than it is to fight them. I'm not sure if you've seen a gorilla take a shot, but it takes more than a few bullets to take down a full-size gorilla. And by that time that you do, if you don't have a distance on them, they've probably done quite a bit of damage. So, let's just keep that in mind as well.
Of course.
So I'm bringing my rifle.
Yeah.
My pistol.
Okay.
My knife.
Sure.
I'm going to leave the Tommy gun, the Thompson, in the Jeep. I'm bringing it with us.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the grenades with me.
Okay.
Into the jungle.
Sure. So you're leaving the Thompson at the Jeep.
Yep.
Okay.
You want me to carry that?
If you're comfortable with it. Just a lot to carry.
I'll bring it, just because, well, we might need it, and honestly, I I don't really carry a rifle myself because I don't have a very good chance of doing much more than scaring somebody with one.
Kabea and Bula both grab rifles, have sidearms, and then both of them grab long bladed machetes.
Machete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
Oh,
it's a
brush.
jungle. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to cut through. Kabea moves to the front, and Bula motions for you guys to move through, and then he's gonna clearly take up the rear. But there's a game trail that's not much more than one person wide to move into the area. They do also pack They pack food for 3 days for everybody, which you guys kind of disperse the group of you. And then they also pack bedrolls and tents. Kabea says, just in case, I said it's a better part of a day. I don't want to get out in the middle of nowhere and not have anything to sleep under.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good.
Nope.
You have
Smart.
good ideas of water sources?
Yes, and he does bring extra water with them, but not a ton. So you guys head out. I need everybody to give me Constitution checks. So you just roll under your Constitution like normal.
Okay.
I'm not good.
I like that the major's
I'm under.
the one that was out.
I'm under with a hard
Hard
success.
success. Did you succeed?
Regular
Phil?
success. Yes.
Regular
So,
success.
Roxy, are you the only one that did not succeed?
Yes.
Okay. How badly did you fail?
I got a 99 over 70.
It is important.
Jeez Louise.
It is
Not
important
double
to note
okay.
a 90 or a 100 is a critical failure. I do need to know about those, but just a regular failure is not that big
Okay.
of a deal.
Good.
The major doesn't seem to take well to the
It's malaria.
the combination of heat and humidity, and like the bugs seem to be bugging him a bit more than normal.
Too much turmeric in my breakfast.
Yeah, it's very clear that the major's the one slowing you down, but Kabea and Mbula don't seem to make an issue of it. It's very clear that like they expected one or more of you to have trouble. So you get 2 hours into the hike, and Kabea kind of motions for everybody to take a rest. I need everybody to give me a listen.
Jeez.
A hard success.
I did not make it by 2.
I did not make it.
Wow. You got a hard success, Phil?
Yes.
Shirley?
Yes.
Shirley, did you succeed?
I'm looking.
It's alphabetical.
We need to make that shirt.
It's already up.
I
You can
want
order
a
the
copy
It's
of it.
Alphabetical shirt on TeePublic. You just want to go to TeePublic and search for the Nerds domain. You can get those there. We often do sales. Not by our choice, but because the website does them. So
So by the middle one, I'm lower than the middle one.
you're lower than the middle one, so it's a
Mhm.
hard success.
Hard success.
So 2 failures, 2 hard successes, right?
Yes.
So Rebecca, you and Alex, notice that the chatter and noise that's been going on seems to get just a little bit louder once you stop. It's birds mostly, but for whatever reason, when you guys stop, once you stop and start eating a little bit and drinking some water and resting, you hear the noise volume go up.
Volume of what?
The birds and the wildlife.
Oh, okay.
I'll look to our guides and see if they're reacting or noticing.
They don't seem to notice.
Okay.
Their GM has obviously
Good.
turned up the sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't we have sound effects?
There's several reasons that are technical.
Okay.
I didn't
Kabaya,
mean to bring up an issue.
No, you're fine.
Kabaya, is it me or is the wildlife louder?
He kind of stops what he's doing and listens. He said, now that you mention it, yeah. That's strange, but I don't find it. If there was danger, we wouldn't hear it.
Okay.
Maybe we've just hit there's a flock of birds in the area or something like that. More concentration. I'm not sure.
I'm going to take him as word. It's his place, and I'm not, that kind of scientist.
Yeah. So you guys finish up your rest and start walking again. You travel again for another 2 hours or so. Kabea moves again and starts a small fire to kind of reheat some of the food, or to heat up some of the food you have. It's clear that this is like your midday stop for lunch. But he's
I'm going to assist with meal prep.
Sure, and he actually lets you do whatever you want to do.
I'll just do it.
Yeah. But Imbula seems to be keeping almost a sentry, like a watch and a listen, while the rest of you eat. And then once the food is ready, and Kabea kind of eats quickly, and they switch spots.
Do I notice the same volume change?
It hasn't decreased in volume again back to where it was, so it still stayed at that slightly elevated volume level. After lunch, you guys pack back up. Kabea works very hard to make the area you stopped not untraceable, but like put it back as close to its natural state as possible. And then he starts leading off again. You move through for another 2 hours. He stops again, and then about an hour after that, once you've been walking again, the noise suddenly ends. It's not like the birds stop chirping all of a sudden, but it's as though you can no longer hear them.
What about footsteps?
Yes.
So we hear
As that silence comes across above, you can all hear yourselves not tromping, but clearly walking through the underbrush and on the trail. Kabea motions for a stop and seems startled.
Yeah, I'll stop and be on high alert.
Imbula already is like on one knee with the gun out looking around.
We'll do similar.
I drop to a knee.
Okay.
Like, I'm not standing up if he's not standing up.
Yeah. I'm drawing a pistol and I'm definitely looking around.
Okay. I need everybody to roll POW. And you will need a hard success.
I just missed the hard one by 6.
This is a chance for you to spend luck if you would really like to.
Oh, that's true. I'll spend 6 luck.
Now, make sure you mark that off your sheet.
Yep.
But yes, you can. So Roxy will have succeeded on that hard success. Shirley?
So I only have one number for
What's your number?
POW, 75.
So then a hard is going to be half of that, which is 37. Yes.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
What'd you get?
I got an 89.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be a regular success. Is Roxy the only one that succeeded?
I failed.
Okay.
Yeah, I failed.
Okay.
And nobody else can use luck? Okay.
Even spending all my luck, I wouldn't. I guess I could make it to a success, but
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So the success would be the 75, right?
Yes, but you needed a hard success, so you needed the 37.
That would be half of my luck points.
Yeah, you don't want to do that at all.
I failed.
So Roxy,
Mhm.
There is a palpable change in the area around you. Not just the silence. That's just the most obvious change that everyone is experiencing. Your body feels lighter. The colors are more vibrant. You can smell things that you weren't smelling before, but it's all like the natural world. You can smell,
Mhm.
the jungle and the animals. your hands are more aware of the gun you're holding. Everything seems heightened.
Right.
But then as you're kind of noticing that, everything begins to haze just a little bit. And for you, the best you can think is it's very similar to a dream.
Oh. Okay.
And as you think that, you can taste aluminum. Your mouth even being closed, you can still taste aluminum.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do we have any metallurgists?
Phil has chemistry if he would like to use it for metallurgy, but that would be. It depends on what Sitwell wants to pass
I have no
pass
idea.
around.
How close are you to me, Lieutenant?
We're still going single file.
Yeah, but you're probably not more than an arm's reach away from anybody else. You guys are pretty close moving through
Okay.
the jungle.
Sitwell. Or, sorry, Drummond. I'm talking to myself in the third person now.
Note to self.
Note to self.
Sitwell, you are dreaming. You have had a fall. No. Drummond,
Yes, sir.
I taste aluminum.
Now that she's mentioned or he's mentioned it, you also taste aluminum, and all those things about the senses being heightened, while also kind of a hazy fog over everything.
Okay.
Sound effects.
Ooh.
So chemistry.
Yeah, go for it.
Fail.
I mean, without tasting aluminum, there's also the potential that there may be medically something wrong with you. You don't know what would cause a metallic taste in the mouth specifically to aluminum.
Right.
I mean, it's not like you eat a lot of aluminum,
No.
but it's definitely not a steel or that kind of
Or copper.
yeah, or copper smell. It's specifically that taste is aluminum.
Yeah.
And now that you guys have heard Sitwell, everybody else is tasting that and noticing the same thing. And Cabea and Mbola both seem to be like tasting their own mouths, like they can taste it as well. So it's clear that you've all had that realization now that he said something. I'm gonna keep doing that.
Yeah. Who's closest to the rear?
Mbola is in the back.
Yeah.
Between the four of you, that's up to you on the order.
So Roxy, how do you think
There's-
Sitwell would have?
So there's 6 of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the
I want to be the
Cabayas, yeah.
third person in line.
okay.
Dead center. Okay. Or no, okay, in the middle. Okay.
Hopefully not dead.
I'm the prettiest and I'm the most.
Or is one of us taking the
Well,
lead, one of
that's-
us taking the rear?
I don't have so much skills.
Yeah, I don't think I was, but I might have stationed you there, since you have grenades and junk
In the front.
No, in the back.
in the back.
Okay. I'm gonna try to take stay out do that thing where you're all the way down. You kind of do the shuffle
Yeah.
walk or whatever.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah.
not standing or whatever. I'm gonna try to move back. 2 or 3 steps to where I last heard things normally.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So you start moving backwards past Mbula.
Yeah.
I need you to roll POW, but it's gonna be a contested roll, so I will also roll.
So I just need to tell you the value.
You need to tell me if it's a success or not,
It's
and then
not.
if it's not.
Not.
Okay. You keep moving back. You don't realize it as you pass through it, but there is a barrier, and you realize that as your chest begins to constrict, your fingers go numb. Your sight starts to darken, and you're going to take a point of magic damage. So you just mark off a magic point, and then you'll also take 1 regular point of damage. As you and you can move forward again if you want, but it hurts in your chest. It's like something is gripping your heart and squeezing.
And that's what I sense. I don't necessarily sense that things are returning back.
Oh,
to
you can
normal.
hear. You can hear the birds. You don't hear your footsteps because the birds are so loud. But that is this presence is causing a definite reaction in you.
If I look backwards, can I see him? Does he look different?
Yeah, he looks in pain.
But it doesn't look like he's on the other side of something.
No, he does not look like he's on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, so just trying to get in the head of my character. What's his reaction going to be? Well, he doesn't like this. He doesn't like it back there. Doesn't have a strong force of will. He'll move back to being within the group.
Okay, so you step forward a little bit, probably still doing the crouching, and as soon as you stop hearing things again, everything stops hurting. Your fingers tingle just a little bit, but you can feel them again. Sitwell, when you're watching him, you didn't notice before, but he was hazed, almost like a shimmer, and now he's stopped. He is solid again.
Okay.
Now that he's moved back forward. Your character, Phil, does stumble just a little. You catch yourself pretty quickly, but it had a very profound effect upon your body. Okay. I need you to make a sanity check.
So when he does that, can we see the wall?
No.
Fail.
So there's no
you'll roll a d3.
change or anything to the. I mean, there's a change in the atmosphere, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What the bloody hell was that?
Nice.
So kind of in a relative whisper, but enough that everyone in the group can hear. I did find going back that way.
Everything that he says comes out as a slur. You notice that your tongue is numb, and you can feel yourself not drooling, but like, when you wake up in the middle of the night, you're going to start drooling. Mm-hmm. It's that. And you have to work your mouth a few times before you feel like you have control of it again.
Going back there, it gets back to normal, but it hurts.
It's very clear that his face is reddened a little bit, as though he's working really hard at doing whatever he's doing.
Right. Did you get hit, or I didn't see what happened? I just
felt like I got tingly and my chest hurt.
Do you have first aid? I don't think you have a very good first aid.
No, I think I do, because I think I did.
I have an okay first aid.
Yeah, so you can't.
Is that higher than 45, Roxy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you can't really describe it medically, but yeah, that's pretty solid what you said.
Okay.
Do you need some type of aid, or is it just?
I'm okay now that I'm back here. I don't know.
Back here.
So, I tried to go back to where we could hear things, or
Right.
hear birds and things. That was painful. And then when I came back to join the group where we are now, and we can't hear birds and things, the pain has stopped, and the tingling is going away, and my speech is getting clearer. Yeah.
Kabea.
Yes.
Have you experienced anything like this before?
No, sir.
Nothing even kind of similar.
No, sir.
How far do you think we are from the ruins?
Keeping the same pace we were at, maybe half an hour.
Are you good to walk, Drummond?
Yes. Sorry,
Do you-
my character didn't say that questionably.
Okay. Okay.
I was thinking about if my response was just going to be yes and yes. So he would have just said yes.
Well, let's see. Sorry, this is Roxy talking. I'm out of character.
You're fair. You're fine.
Is there anything
Your
in
fur?
Call of Cthulhu that is like a like an identify or anything like that?
You could roll Occult.
I
but-
mean, I'm pretty crappy at that. Maybe.
I mean, one of the other two could roll
Well,
Occult, but like,
Miss Northcote,
Yes.
are you familiar at all? We're clearly in some sort of something is going on that we don't understand, and it's definitely not natural. And while I am aware of such supernatural things as this might be, my understanding is that you are far more versed in this realm and might be able to.
you can roll Occult, Shirley. But I'm going to warn you that will require you to make some trial and error kind of things. Okay, you don't care.
I got.
It's fine.
What was that?
It's just an audio thing.
I got a 71 over 70.
Do you want to spend luck?
I will spend a luck.
Okay. So you walk back to where... Are you keeping low?
Yeah, I told you. Like, I was.
So you kind of squat walk back to where the lieutenant is, and you take a look at everything, and you kind of push your hand out past where he's at, and you can see your hand, and it does start to shimmer. You can notice that, but you feel all of the muscles in your forearm start to tense and squeeze and convulse. Not like
As if there's a vacuum?
no, more like you have like a
spasm?
muscle spasm, but it's all of them. Like it's all of the muscles in your arm are spasming at the same time. It's not
Okay.
painful; it's disconcerting.
Right.
Can you roll sanity for me? Sanity is something you cannot spend luck on, FYI.
Right,
Right.
I read that. Oh, yeah. I got like half.
Okay, you'll roll a d3.
Mother of
You just need a d6.
Fujiyamas.
3. Good job.
Yay! 3 what?
You lose 3 sanity.
Thanks.
You realize that you have entered some sort of spell space that a spell has affected. You can't tell how big that area is.
Okay.
You might be able to with a little bit more trial and error, but it would take a little bit of time, probably at least 15 minutes, probably more like an hour.
Okay, so Shirley has DM questions.
Sure.
So we passed through this wall. Everything got hazy, but we can't go back or something bad will happen. That's
That
essentially
seems
like...
to be the case.
So I want to see if there's a perimeter.
Yeah, there
Around us?
definitely is. There definitely is a perimeter.
How can we see it?
You can't. You can feel it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
So you
want
just put your
to-
hand through that
Right.
barrier. You can feel along that barrier if you would like.
okay, that's what I want to do. I want to see if
You're
it's...
gonna wander
is
off
it-
into the.
No, somebody's coming with me. I ain't going by myself.
Well, you can just. How far are you going? 10 steps, 50 steps, 30 meters,
I want to mime it around the whole wall, all the way.
all the way?
Well, I mean, if
How-
it
that's
starts
why
to
I'm asking.
curve, I want to know if it's in front
Okay.
of us, if we're
There
going to
is-
pass through it again.
There is no perceptible curve. Or if there is a curve, it is so wide that you can't
That
tell.
I wouldn't be able to get
Yeah.
to it.
You could probably, I mean, you're a smart girl. You could probably do some math and maybe figure out a general idea. But again, you'd have to spend at least 15 minutes, more like an hour, to figure out the area.
Then, oh, cracker doodles.
Shirley's got such a potty mouth.
You know it, man. Once I figure out, I think it's... I mean, how far away is 10 feet? Like, to that wall?
That's more like 20 feet.
I think I would go 10 feet in either direction.
Okay.
And once I reach 10 feet, I would be like, okay, I don't know how far this is going to go. Or if it's just behind us. Because I wouldn't know that it's just behind us.
Right. That's correct.
And there's no visual perception to be able to tell me until someone goes through it.
Until you touch it, you can't see it. Even when you touch
Right.
it, you can only see that your hand is becoming hazy.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's when
yeah,
somebody
there's-
gets hazy.
Yeah. Or not hazy,
Shimmery.
Shimmery.
Hazy is...
Did it happen to our did it happen to the things on us or just to a fleshly person?
What happened?
The haziness. Like if
The
somebody
shimmer?
if somebody walked through and they had their rifle, did that turn shimmery?
No, I'm saying when you put your hand back through it, that's when you notice the shimmer. Right now, where you're at, you don't see a shimmer. The haze is over a general area in your sight. So,
And that's currently.
yes, and it's akin to how you see things in a dream when there's a haze in the dream
Right.
view.
It's like J.J. Abrams is directing this portion of the jungle.
Hey,
Actually-
there's no flashes.
Shirley, can you roll dream lore?
I mean, do I have dream?
Yes,
lore?
you do. It's on the far right-hand side, right above the combat.
Right hand side.
The other side. The other side.
Combat.
No.
Oh, this is my right side.
Yeah, it's a written in.
I did say the other side twice, didn't I?
Shut up. Yeah, I would have turned it over too. Shut up. Yeah, that's not happening.
Okay. You have a feeling this has something to do with dreaming. You're just not sure quite what.
Was Rebecca in the Duat?
Nope.
Okay, wrong person. Never mind. Okay.
All right. So that's where you guys are at. Then.
I mean, I basically would relay
Yeah, no,
this
that's fine.
definitely to the captain.
Well, are you going to hide it from Kabea and Bola?
No, because
Well, you said definitely to the captain. I just wanted to
well,
verify.
I meant like
There is no.
I was
There
saying.
is no captain present.
Yeah, no,
God,
no.
the general,
I'm just
No,
being
major,
Colonel,
major.
Major.
Write it down.
It is written down, but it's on the other side of my sheet.
Okay.
So I would tell the major, but I would tell it in a way that everyone else could hear.
Okay.
But being that they're
But you're
the person
addressing.
in charge,
You're
yeah.
addressing the main. Okay, that's fine.
My suggestion is that as we go along, somebody puts forth an item or something so that if the item passes through and we see the shimmer, then we know that we're at the wall. If there is another side to the wall.
What are we? I mean, is this some sort of like? I don't think it is. I don't know of any sort of military or chemical warfare that would cause something like this, or is this
No, this is how do I put this? This is
I mean, it sounds silly to me, but is this like a spell or something like
are
that?
you a religious person?
Hmm?
Are you a religious person?
Yes, you are.
I mean,
You're an upstanding member of the Church of
yes.
England.
I mean, I'm as any English
So
upstanding Englishman would
so
be.
then you believe in evil.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yes.
Okay. And then so this would be the opposite of your faith.
Okay. That's what this is.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying like I don't want to say spell because that sounds very nonsensical if I say something like that to you. But if I can explain it in a way that you understand, it being the opposite of something that is good, then I can't explain the science or the mechanics.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to know if this truly was a supernatural effect that we were experiencing.
I mean, would we have used that word,
What
supernatural?
Yes. Eldritch, esoteric.
Eldritch spell, anything like that. That's what he's getting at.
So something esoteric. I would say it
Sure.
like that.
Sure. Okay. So where are you guys headed? Or what are you doing?
I'm going to go ahead and say that we are going onward. I do instruct all of you to be alert. That there is something. Mr. Harrowgate, did you happen to witness with your eyes at least what they were? I saw it when he came back to us, when Lieutenant Drummond returned to us. But did you see the effect of her hand on her hand when she put her hand through?
Yeah, there's something going on.
Okay. Well, just keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
I would tell Kabea as well. Clearly, there's something going on. We're all experiencing it together. Move slowly, but I don't see any way out of this except for just going forward. Because right now, going back is painful, and we don't know what going forward is going to be. And let's just continue to the ruins, being aware that obviously someone else has been in this area or has tried to affect this area in some way. So we are likely not alone here.
That's very possible, but I want to ask is, I mean, obviously we can hear everything at this point.
This is true.
We
can hear more, yes.
Yeah, we hear our voices, we're hearing our footsteps. It means also somebody else out here is going to hear that. So I'm looking at the two corporals. Yeah, either of y'all versed in approaching silently?
It's part of our training, yes.
I think that's where we're at this point. If whoever's leading this group, we need to be going as quietly as possible.
Kabea nods in agreement. That's a good idea.
So, while everyone's having this conversation, like, I'm looking around for livestock. It's not livestock.
Fauna?
Yeah.
Give me a spot hidden. You gotta roll the skill.
Because, like, everything went silent except for, like, our footsteps and voices and stuff like that.
What was that?
That's not gonna happen.
What'd you get?
99.
Nope.
Is there a wind?
Yes. A light one. Very light breeze.
We don't hear
How
any
come he didn't have to
rustle
make a
of-
roll?
You don't. Because he's not looking for a bird. No, you don't hear any rustle.
Okay.
Russell wasn't invited.
Yeah.
So we can feel the wind, but it's not rustling the trees.
That is correct.
Okay.
So we not only don't hear it, we don't see it.
Leaf rustles just fine.
It makes a rustling noise.
No, yeah, it's a little. You're more aware of it than you normally would be. But yeah.
Because it's so loud, or
because you're
of the feeling that's around.
Your senses are heightened. If I hadn't made that as clear as possible, like you're more aware of the rustle. Yeah, you're more aware of the rustle because you can it sounds more like leather than leaf, but you still think it's natural. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So would there be anything that I would have studied that
was what your occult roll was?
Right.
You don't know. There's no way to know what this is without more information.
Okay.
To get that information, you would either need to go forward or spend some time here.
We have a job to do.
Okay.
So my next question is, and I don't remember this, like what is exactly is our? Are we seeking out Nitocris, or what are we looking for?
Brought 50 Nazis into the jungle, and you're here to find out what's going on.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did you have a question, Roxy?
I did not. I was going to say I don't see the. Sitwell was going to say that he doesn't see the point of potentially staying here and trying to investigate further. If it's going to be here in 15 minutes, it's going to be here in a half an hour to an hour when we get to the ruins, and we might as well just continue onward.
Okay. Kabea turns to you, Major, and says, if we're moving along silently, that the last half hour is probably going to take more like an hour to an hour and a half. I just want to make sure
That's
you're
fine.
aware of the expectation.
I want us to be as quiet and as alert as we can be. I instruct everybody in our group that I want them might as well take advantage of our senses being enhanced and heightened, and listen for anything out of the ordinary. If you think you hear another footstep that is not ours, then I want to know about it as soon as possible. But communicate as quietly as possible as well.
Also, sir, assuming that everything is the same, we have about 3.5 hours until it starts to darken. And I don't know if you've been in the jungle before, but it will darken quick.
Well, I mean,
I want to make sure
we
you're
can't
aware.
get back in 3.5 hours, so.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
He starts moving quietly. We're going to roll for him. I need everybody to make a move silently check. So if you are a military, it would fall under fieldcraft. If you're not military, it falls under
Sneak.
Stealth on our sheet.
Stealth, that's the word.
If I am military, can we use stealth
Good
instead?
night.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because you put 0 points in fieldcraft. You are the least crafty in the field.
Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. So I got a 67 over a 55.
It's up to you if you want to spend 12 points.
Yeah, that's like...
Take a
Do you
20.
wanna
No,
spend
you-
I'm
points?
spending points.
Okay. Roxy, did you make it?
No.
I did.
Okay, regular success?
Regular success.
Okay. And that's a no from Phil.
I got a regular failure.
Okay. And Shirley? Is that
No.
No? Okay. So you guys travel for 15 minutes. It seems longer than that, but your clocks, your watches are keeping good time.
Okay.
Like you're keeping an eye on the second hand. It is moving appropriately.
Okay.
About 15 minutes of this moving quietly, it has become very apparent that 2 of your members
Are not moving quietly.
not trained at all for this. They're doing their best. They really are trying.
They're
but I'm sorry.
dwarfs and Mirkwood.
Yeah, they do hear. You do at that point, all of you hear the snap of a twig, the rustle of a branch, off to your left.
I
Which
feel
surely
like-
that's this direction for you.
I put up a hand, indicating.
Oh yeah,
Stop.
Cabea had done the same thing, but
Okay.
like, yeah.
I
I point my pistol that way.
I'm sorry. You said you point your pistol,
Yep.
right? So everybody's,
just, like-
I assume, drawn and pointed,
Point it that way.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go into combat. And that's fun. I need dexterities from everyone.
My dex is 65.
Okay, and Drummond,
55.
Sitwell,
59. Oh, you need my dex roll or my
no,
dex stat?
dexterity stat.
Oh, I'm sorry, 65.
Okay, and
What
Harrowgate,
is your?
50.
50. Okay.
I don't think you needed us to roll, Joe. You're good.
So, if you guys haven't played before, which I think a couple of you haven't played much, so dexterity dictates the order we go in, which is really all that does. Wow, really? We don't have... Well, that's awesome. That is unhelpful Call of Cthulhu book. We'll just put down a werewolf.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
What is that?
Well, I don't want an Uber Hulk.
So leaping from beyond, just beyond a thicket or a thick area of undergrowth, come 2 large black shapes. You know very quickly that they're gorillas, so they are large. Build 2. No, they are large. They're around size 100, which is about as big as a human's going to get. And we're talking like a hulking mass of a human.
Okay.
One of them lands not quite close enough to hit you. The other one, I need who's in the middle? That's going to be the two archaeologists?
too.
I need
Yeah.
both of you to roll luck. This is an opposed roll to each other.
Trying to smack heads. Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
got it.
hey.
Did you both succeed?
Succeed.
Who got lower?
I got 55.
I rolled a 28.
Okay, so John got lower.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shirley, this thing lands right next to Rebecca, and by next to her, I mean almost on top of her, and takes a giant swing at you.
Do I know anything about, animal stuff? Zoology
Yeah, we
or
can look
anything
into
like
that. It's natural world. It does not hit you with the first swing.
I'm a zoologist.
The second one, you can roll. I'm sorry. No, these. I'm sorry. Let's back up.
Do I get a dodge?
Yes, you do. It is an opposed roll. You can in combat you can do one of three things. I'm looking for the things it says here. It is here somewhere. Combat. Okay, here we go. You have three options. You can dodge. All right, you have two options right now. The third one you can't do.
Dodge, duck, or dive?
Dodge or fight back. Do you want to dodge or fight back, Shirley?
Dodge.
Okay, so you'll roll your dodge.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Did you succeed?
I got 3 zeros.
No, that's a critical failure, Shirley.
It's good to know you.
Meanwhile,
I get punched in the face by this gorilla.
the gorilla got a... No, that's mean. I'm not going to do that. The gorilla is going to hit you for 6 damage as it just like fully cold cocks you with its
Where
giant
hit points?
Yes, 6 damage with this giant gorilla paw. Can you give me a sanity check?
Oh yeah, I make it like by more than half.
Make it by more than half. So you won't lose anything. The gorilla, the face of the gorilla does not look quite right. It looks like a passing between a gorilla and a human.
So the missing link.
Yeah, sort of.
So I would have seen that in the anthropology.
No, because there's no sort of. I guess. Sure.
Isn't that what you study in anthropology?
Yeah, except that we don't know what the missing link is, hence why it's missing.
No, I mean, we make assumptions.
Right. Something like that, sort of.
Okay.
And anthropology is the study of
Cultures, I thought.
culture.
Oh, what's the study of like the
I don't know.
progression of man?
History,
No.
evolution. I don't
Okay,
know.
never mind.
We're moving on.
Anthology.
So it hits you. Oh, I guess I should have. Yeah, okay. 65. So at 75,
Mm-hmm.
since we're going in rounds, Kabea rushes at the monster in front of you, Shirley. Or Rebecca, in front of Rebecca.
Okay.
He suddenly has a bayonet on the end of his rifle. It was not there earlier. And crashes into it. And as he does, it disappears and he collapses. And the second one starts running towards the group and disappears. Just gone.
Okay, roll for sanity.
I mean, yeah, everybody needs to roll for sanity.
Well, I passed that one.
Fail.
Yeah, I passed.
If you
Nope.
failed, you'll lose 1. If you pass, you lose 0.
And there's no hard and extreme successes on
No,
these.
no,
right?
no.
Okay, didn't think so.
Kabea is on the ground convulsing. Imbula seems to have dropped back and is muttering to himself, looking all around with his gun pointed.
Oh, yay.
Who has the most medical stuff?
That would be Sitwell. Anybody can roll psychology, but if you're trained in it, let me know.
I'm trained in it.
Yeah.
MNOP. I'm trained in it
Okay, roll.
a lot.
Success. Use luck.
Oh, 7 under
Mark it.
60. I got a extreme success.
Did you get a hard success, John, or just a regular one?
Regular.
Okay. Rebecca, you recognize that if you were from Congo and the jungle was out there, one of your nightmares might be gorillas attacking, especially ones that leap from a distance that seems a little supernatural.
A little supernatural.
Can you roll Dream Lore again? I'll give you a bonus die. So you'll roll the 10%, an extra 10. Nope, 10. That's the 10s, not the 1s, the 10s.
It's the same.
No, it's not. It's very different.
Okay.
Did you succeed on Dream Lore?
So is that a 30?
Dream Lore is a 15, and I got I guess a 38.
Okay, what's the other option?
68.
Okay,
68.
so you got a 38.
Mm-hmm.
You did not succeed. Do you want to spend any points? You don't have to.
No.
Okay.
Because that's too much.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, there's something going on. Something is interacting with this world that is very dream related.
So basically, they're nightmares.
That's what this has been. You don't know beyond that.
Okay.
John, you know the same thing, that it's likely that the two men have had nightmares about man-eating gorillas, and now they have manifested themselves.
Well, this is very bizarre.
Can I
What?
think about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Yes,
Well-
you can.
This is going to sound really crazy, but imagine if we could
Try me.
somehow project our dreams or our nightmares into the real world.
Oh, so
And
Is
what
this
if
your
you
nightmare?
are from an area where this sort of thing would be one of your nightmares, especially going through a jungle when if all the wildlife could hear you, but it seems we can't really hear it.
so are you indicating think happy thoughts?
If that would work in this situation, sure. I'm just saying that this seems to be what's going on.
Sitwell, were you looking at Cabea?
I
first
did
aid.
see him, yes.
Are you using first aid on him?
Oh, is that what you're asking? Okay,
Yeah.
I can, yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you succeeded on that psychology, you might want to mark the box.
I told him to do that.
Okay, good.
Well, that's a big no.
Okay.
It's a big no on helping old
You're
Cabea.
not quite sure what to do with him. He is. You're positive that he is having some sort of seizure, but other than keeping him safe from swallowing his own tongue, there's not much else that you can do.
Okay, I've wrenched his jaw open and shoved a stick in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and calm down Mbala.
Okay. Roll persuasion or charm.
Ooh.
You could also roll intimidate to kind of roughly snap him out of it.
Yeah, not much luck with any of those.
Roll psychology, see if you can figure out how to talk him through
Okay.
it.
Oh, heck no.
You approach Mbula.
Can I do it?
Yeah, go for it.
If you guys aren't,
Yeah, let's go for it.
if they're not having any oh wait, here, let me try this. God bless America.
So no?
No.
Just FYI, you guys could push your rolls. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
no, not
you know
not this
what?
case.
I'll go ahead and push this time.
Push
'cause
it?
It's 63 over 60.
Are you pushing it or using luck?
Um.
Those
I'm
are
gonna
two
push
different
my first aid.
Okay. Hold on just a second, Roxy.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
So, listen. Pushing it means you re-roll.
Mm-hmm.
If you pushing means you give me a justification for how you're going to go farther. You re-roll, and on a failure, there's a dire consequence. Spending luck is what you've been doing. You've been spending luck to lower the roll.
Yeah, I would
Or-
like to spend.
Okay, that's
3
fine.
luck.
I just want to make sure we clarify the terminology.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I just spent 3 luck.
Harrowgate starts to move towards Mbula, and Mbula seems to react in a threatened fashion. Harrowgate clearly didn't realize he still had his gun in his hand, and but quickly, Rebecca, you come up, put your gun away, put your hands up, and start speaking calmly and gently to him. He does seem to calm down, but he seems still very on edge. He's not as erratic, but this is clearly he has just seen his nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Roxy, you were gonna push, so justify
Yeah,
it.
my justification would be that after Sitwell was too concerned with the seizing and that Cabello was going to hurt himself, and so once I got him into a position where I didn't think he was going to like bite his own tongue off or anything, I tried to look again.
Sure, go for it. Let's see how bad this goes.
Yeah, Cabello, you've been good to us. May you not die on this roll. Oh, you don't. Maybe. It's 35. My first aid is 65. So it's just I'm gonna burn 3 luck and make that a hard success.
Let me double check that.
Oh wait, can I do that?
I'm not sure. I'm
looking.
Checking.
I cannot push combat or sanity. Oh well, that's pushing. As far as I don't know about. Either way, it's a success. Whether it's a hard or not.
I'll let you do it unless I find it in the book. Like, I'll let you do it now, and we'll be able to do it later, unless I find in the book that you can't. So,
okay.
Like, I'm not going to look for it right now because that's not my interest.
That's fine. I've marked those 3 luck, and if I get them back, I get them back. If I can't do that.
Yes. So you now that you've got him kind of safe from like hurting himself further, you are able to administer some hysteric what do you call that treatment. So basically you're going to
I have some laudanum on me.
you smack him in the face a little bit to see if you can pop him out of it. Because you're at your wits end, you don't know what else. There's nothing.
Snap out of it, man.
But you kind of smack his face a little hard, and he seems to immediately calm down, and relax. And it's clear that he wasn't necessarily seizing, as he was having a very strong panic attack.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, it was shell shock.
Okay.
That's the appropriate terminology for the time.
Yeah.
But it was an environmental thing, not necessarily a physical illness.
Okay. All right.
Does the situation seem significantly more under control than it was, when the monster gorillas jumped out of the...
Yeah. So the gorillas out, like not having shown up, this seems about as calm as it was, other than your 2 guides are a little freaked out.
I'm going to approach Major Sitwell, and in the lowest voice I can manage. I have to encourage you to consider us trying to instead leave this area and find a way to do that, rather than continuing to push forward. You are in charge, and I'll follow your orders, but I need to voice that opinion.
Well, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. My concern is going back, and granted, you are the only one that experienced it completely, but it seemed to kind of mess you up for a little bit. And if we go back, and we all get that way, I don't see how. I don't see that we have many options, because we can't really cut into the jungle anymore.
We can investigate it further, as you said. I was the only one that tried to fully exit, and the effects haven't, as far as I can tell, been permanent. So if it's like ripping off, well, they wouldn't have that. Then I was gonna say Band-Aid.
Yeah, no, Band-Aids exist.
Okay,
A bandage.
If it's like ripping off a bandage, I'd rather just get that done and get back to reality.
How long has it been since we had stopped the first time?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
I do need everybody to make a listen check, except for Sitwell and the lieutenant, because you were talking. I want to see if the other 2 overhear you.
Yeah. Like critical
Critical.
Well, I think that's
Critical
a yes.
helping-
Let me
critical-
make
critical-
sure. Yes, it is.
Critical. I won the thing.
What did you get, John?
51 out of
Critical
60.
success.
Okay, so John, you overhear bits and pieces. You can fill that in as you see fit, but it was a pretty solid, clear, forward conversation. Shirley, your character clearly hears it loud as day.
Yeah.
As much as they were trying to keep it down. What were you saying?
I was just saying that while I'm trying to keep it as me questioning a superior officer in front of everybody.
Yeah,
not like I really don't want them to know. Just kind of like I'm trying to be, following ranks.
Shirley,
and stuff.
can you roll an intelligence or occult, whichever one you want to do? Either one.
Wait, where's my? Oh, it's up there.
Which one are you rolling?
Intelligence. 16 under 80.
That's a fifth, isn't it?
I think that's a extreme.
Oh, you don't have your
success.
Yeah, that is. So you realize that with a little bit of mental discipline, you should be able to, the group of you should be able to maintain a lack of dream interaction. Like, enough about the dreamland, but I'm saying that might be something you, having heard the lieutenant say we should go back, maybe that's something you can put forward.
Noticing, in all my intelligence that he's trying to be quiet, I would go up to both of them and maybe there's a better way to get through this. I feel like our fear is starting to overcome. If we were more diligent in controlling our thoughts, possibly moving forward wouldn't be so bad.
Have you experienced this situation previously?
Yes.
No, but you've read up on things like this.
No, but this was my course study.
A theory.
Well,
it's not said in a dismissive way. I'm a scientist engineer, so it's like I'm like, okay,
there have been many instances that it has worked, though I have not experimented with this. But in class, there are many instances that were cited that it did work.
The only suggestion I have is that, and I don't know how we could communicate this to Mbula or Kabea, but if we need to clear our thoughts and all focus on something else, that's what I'm understanding you're suggesting, correct?
Yes.
I would suggest some type of march, and Lieutenant Drummond would probably know any marches that I would know. And I know we were trying to be quiet, but that doesn't seem to matter if it's all mental.
That just a simple meditation chant or something like that.
Yeah, do you have anything that we could that you could at least teach us very quickly that we might be able to just mumble or hum along with as we go?
Yeah, you can
row your boat.
Yeah, actually that
I know I was Colonel Bogey's March was all that came up in my head.
Yeah. I mean that works well enough. I'd say ring around the rosy, but you're just gonna start seeing dead bodies everywhere. That's no good.
Yeah.
Quick question. I turn to the corporals. Which one of you do you think has thought about gorillas or was thinking about gorillas?
Kabea,
Yeah, probably the one that was in the nightmare panic.
Kabea starts to mumble in Congolese, and then stops quickly when he realizes that you can't understand him at all, and then quietly says, I grew up near the jungle as a child, and I one of my parents was attacked because he went into the wrong territory.
All right.
But most
So-
children would have this fear.
But more than likely, it was you. And when you fell into that spasm, it went away.
I don't remember fixing my bayonet. I remember seeing it and deciding to confront my fear too quickly. I believe I've heard the officers speak of a fight or flight instinct, and I believe my instinct now as a soldier is to fight, and that's how I reacted. I think
Okay.
that might that me interacting with it may have been the thing that shut it down, but it also hurt. And when he holds his chest, like he pulls his hand away like he's bruised, and then
Okay.
he undoes his shirt, and you can see thick, like yellow bruising across his chest where looks like he's been smashed with something.
Oh wow.
My other
I'll
thought
open
on
my
this
shirt.
situation.
I'm sorry.
Said I'll open my shirt.
You see lines of gray starting at where you think your heart would be, and like 8 of them around, not in any certain pattern, but like they go out of maybe 2 or 3 inches from that area and then end. And while you're looking at it, you can see them, everybody, if you show anybody else, but you can see them kind of receding very slowly, but they are receding. So there is a lasting effect that seems to be healing.
I did it. If whoever might have been looking at me, like I didn't like turn away or
Yeah.
anything. I was just kind of like,
Well, and now that you're
Well-
looking at that, Rebecca has what is forming a bruise on her face from where she was hit.
So, other thoughts. I'm really wanting to push on. So my worry is that whatever this is focused on that location. And regardless of if we come or go, it's still going to be here.
Well, I think it's this whole location. I think we've been in this location and it's been.
Well, I mean, if this thing has boundaries that we can't even imagine? It might be centered, like some sort of overall effect centered on the ruins we're headed to.
Yeah, I mean, so you're saying we should go on and go?
That's my thought. But
I mean, that was what I was planning on doing anyway, but my decision is that we push on. And we chant that which Miss Northcote has given us, and we keep our heads clear. I express that as much as I can to the corporals, and we get back in our marching line
I'd like
and
to
head onward.
focus on the sound of the waves, Major.
Whatever you can use, if you have a meditation technique that you are comfortable with already, that would be easier for you, then please, by all means.
All right. Well, that is a great place for us to take a break. And we will be back next week. We've got other podcasts. They're over at nerdsdom.com. Check those out, and we will talk to you guys later. And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Head on over to our website at nerdsdom.com, where you can find all of our social media links as well as how to contact us. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. If you want to support us, you can give us a 5-star rating on iTunes or head to our Patreon and become one of our patronuses. We want to thank Passion Early for our music. You can check out our show notes for all of these links as well.
Can we take a